WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and our website, www.wvtcdetroit.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
Hello, hello, hello. It's Monday at 4 o'clock, so it must be the Community Bell Show. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Monday and it's sunny. I don't know what I expected, but I did not expect this lovely, lovely day today. And it isn't that cold. I put on a lot of clothes because I thought it was going to be cold outside, but it isn't. It's a lovely day. So if you haven't been outside today, go take a look. Just step outside. It's a lovely, lovely day in our wonderful metropolitan Detroit area. Thank you so much again for joining us. We've got wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guests today. So get ready for our wonderful guests. But before we do that, let me just tell you folks that we are so pleased to have you join us on the Stellar Award-winning WVTC Radio Detroit station. As you know, and as I keep telling you, and I will continue to tell you, we just won 2 stellar awards, and we're getting ready to win a third. So get ready to vote, everybody. The vote's going to be coming. You're going to start seeing it in your emails and all over the place in the next few weeks. So when it's time to vote, be sure you vote for WVTC Radio Detroit so that we can win 3 stellar awards. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, I'll let you alone on that for now, but I'll talk to you about that again next Monday, and the Monday after that, and the Monday after that. Well, March is not enough time for all the wonderful women we have to celebrate in our metropolitan area. We celebrated women every Monday in March, but we're just going to continue our celebration all the way through. We got lots and lots and lots of wonderful women in the metropolitan Detroit area, and today we've got a marvelous young lady who has done great things on the west side of Detroit. You've just got to come over and see some of the wonderful things she's been involved in. The organization she's leading is just doing a fantastic job. We are pleased to have with us Miss Kenyatta Campbell, the executive director of the Cody Rouge Alliance and Cody Rouge Community Organization. Kenyatta, welcome.
Hello, and thanks for having me, Mrs. Bell. Pleasure to see you today.
Absolutely. We are so glad to have you. And you're just doing such a marvelous job over in the Cody Rouge area. There's so much to talk about, and I'm not sure which one of these and how we can get in today. But let's first of all talk about just having our 16th anniversary last October, which was a marvelous event. 16 years Cody Rouge has been working in the fields and doing such wonderful things. So first of all, talk about those 16 years and the things that we've done for the community.
Absolutely, and thanks again. Yeah, so the past 16 years has definitely been a joy to really serve in the community that I grew up in. I actually grew up in the Cody Rouge neighborhood, so it was just a pleasure to be able to go off to college and come back and to be able to be in leadership for so many years now. So over the past 16 years, some of our major highlights, one is being able to renovate Stein Park, which is a park that's located next to Cody High School. We were able to build a 10,000 square foot playground for kids in the neighborhood, and also an obstacle course for the kids. There's a fitness center there. We also was able to receive a grant from KIPD, which is Kresge's project, to build a pavilion in which we were able to utilize that space to host health and wellness events there throughout the summer times and also during the springtime. We were also able to bring in the solar panels to actually have the community to have access to Wi-Fi in the park. So that's one of the major things I would say that we were able to do. And then we were also able to partner with Life Remodel and have a brand new football field as well as a track located on the field as well. So those are some of the great things that has happened. Last year, as you mentioned, we had our 16th anniversary. We were pleased to be able to raise funds to be able to do some great things that's going to happen this year. So I can talk a little bit about that as well when you get to that part.
Great. But first of all, tell people where Cody Rouge is, because some people don't know the boundaries. So tell people where Cody Rouge is.
Yeah, so we are located on the far west side of Detroit, and we are bordered by Dearborn and Redford. So Ford Road to the south, 96 Freeway to the north, Rouge Park, West Parkway to the west, and then Greenfield to the east. So that's like we're right there on the outskirts of the community. And yeah.
And it's a great area. And if you know where Cody High School is, everybody, Cody High School is kind of the center of activity because it's right next where we do a lot of activities for the community right by Cody High School. And Kenyatta is a graduate of Cody High School.
Yes, I am a proud graduate of Cody High School. And another thing exciting about Cody, we are in a process of building a new school. We will break ground in 2027, I believe it is. So stay tuned to some of the developments that are going to be happening for that. So the kids are actually going to have a new facility, where they're able to come in and learn great things. They're going to be building a clinic inside of the school as well.
Now, isn't that great? Because if many of you know, the Detroit schools are real old. When I say old doesn't define it. It's real old. So if you know about some of our schools, they were great when they were built, but they were built a long time ago. And it's a situation where you can't even renovate them because of the way they were built. They were built very, very well. You can't even put the wires in so that they can have Wi-Fi.
Right.
So have access to all of the latest technology. And so they've got to build a new one, because the old ones, you can't even accommodate what needs to be done for our young people. So we're happy that the funds are there to build that new school for those young people on the west side. They definitely deserve it. They definitely do. So let's talk about Um, one of my favorite things, and that is the senior facilities, the senior things that you do over there. What do we
Yeah.
call it? The senior, help me with
Senior
that.
university, yes.
University.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying
Yep.
to, yeah, senior university. That's one of my favorite things.
Yes. So see, I'm very excited about senior university because, as you know, we are an aging community. About 20% of our seniors live in the neighborhood, and a lot of them want to age in place. They don't want to move out of their homes. They don't want to, move, out of the neighborhood, out of the city. They want to stay right there in Cody Rouge because they love Cody Rouge. So what we've been able to do is leverage resources from the state to provide resources for our seniors. So within the last 2 years, we've been able to provide over $300,000 in resources to seniors being able to pay their mortgages, their light bills, their gas bills, their internet, and then we were also, some folks were actually, had car trouble. So we were able to do a lot with that. We also was able to purchase technology for all of the seniors. We purchased over 500 laptops, and then also the Google Nest Hubs, in order for, these seniors to be able to stay in touch with their loved ones. They were also able to learn how to utilize these devices. We hosted over 30 classes throughout the neighborhood. They were all centrally located by a lot of our neighborhood association areas, and they have that, they receive that hands-on experience to understand technology, how to work it, how to turn it on, how to surf the net. And then of course, during COVID, a lot of seniors were afraid to go out to go to the doctor, so they were able to utilize these devices for telehealth. So that is one of the, the great programs. We are in the process of getting things going again, so you'll be hearing announcements this month actually, as we talk about what those next phases will look like for supporting our seniors.
And I must tell you, I attended senior university.
Yes.
I I needed help, and they provided help for me. They
Yes.
provided help, and they're helping me understand. And I probably need to go back and get a refresher. But
Yeah.
university is great, and not just learning how to maneuver and then work your way through the technology and the laptops and so on, but just meeting some of the other seniors in the community. It was just great
Yes.
to be able to net with them and talk with them, and just be able to sit down and talk about what they're doing and their children, their grandchildren. That was really a great part of that whole senior university, is being
Yes.
around other seniors and being able to get out and talk to them. So I just thought that was just a fantastic, fantastic piece. But the other piece that you do with Senior Connect is
Yes.
another piece. So talk about Senior Connect.
Yeah, so Senior Connect is it's actually, I would say, a baby of my mom and also Mrs. Greta Mitchell. They've
Mm-hmm.
been volunteering in the neighborhood back in the Don Bosco days. So it was a part of Don Bosco when Mr. Small, may he rest in peace, was
Mm-hmm.
leading the work. He was able to bring them in and to start, provide those resources for seniors. They meet twice a month. They come together, they fellowship, they have dinner. They have different speakers come in to talk about, wills and investing and any type topic that they're interested in. Alzheimer's, just things that are kind of keep them aware of things that are happening either to them or to some of their friends. And
Mm-hmm.
what we've noticed that a lot of these seniors, were living on the same block and didn't really know each other. So Senior Connect really brought those seniors together. And they, like I said, they fellowship and they really enjoy. And they also go on different field trips and things like that. They've
And they have
gone
good
to
food. They have good lunches. Really good food.
Absolutely excellent food. And they say, listen, we love eating healthy, but every now and then we want some fried chicken or some spaghetti. So we want to make sure that they are continuing to make sure that health and wellness is at the forefront. But of course, we want to make sure that they get some of the
Some of
not
the
so
things.
healthy food every now and then.
Yeah. Yes, yes. So that is another one of those great programs that Cody Rouge is involved with. Talk about Detroit Impact and its
Yeah.
relationship with Cody Rouge.
Yeah, so the Detroit Impact Center, Mr. Calvin Coble, who have served as a mentor of mine since the inception of the organization, been in existence, actually allowed us to open his doors to build a wellness hub inside of the Detroit Impact. So our young people, ages 13 to 18, they meet regularly. Also part of our youth council. So they learn about leadership. They learn about how to give back to the community, the voice of the neighborhood as relates to young people. So they are meeting there on a regular basis every Tuesday. Then also on Thursday, we have a group of students that are part of our High Hopes program, This program is supported by Wayne County and also United Way. So this particular program, it really goes a little bit deeper for young people. We provide wraparound services for the families, making sure that there's like basic needs that the families need. We want to make sure that we're meeting the parents for that. If students are struggling with mental illness or depression, we also have social workers who are readily available to be able to provide that resource for our young people, because we notice that a lot of times some communities may just focus on one population, but we understand that in order to really impact a community, you need to really provide wraparound services for the entire family. So we make sure there's something for the kids, for the seniors, and then also I say that forgotten population, which is young adults between 30 and 50. So that's like our next target. We want to make sure that we're starting to listen to that population as well.
And as you mentioned, that population, that is a population that we need to concentrate on as it relates to helping them understand the importance of involvement in their community and
Absolutely.
voting.
Voting,
Because
absolutely.
that group had some issues with voting.
Yes.
We need to help them understand how important it is that they get involved with the political process and how it impacts them, because oftentimes they don't believe that voting has any impact on them. They
Yes.
don't believe that they should be voting because it doesn't do me any good. And what
Right.
I understand is that it does impact you in so many ways, and we have to find ways to convince them and show them that they need to vote, because as a former politician, if you don't vote, you don't need to talk to me.
Right. I agree wholeheartedly.
If you aren't
Yes.
voting, then you have no say in the process. That means that you don't care about the process. And so why should any political person want to talk to you if you are not registered and you're not voting? Because you don't impact their lives at all.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
that's part of why we want to
your
make sure that with our youth council, we
life.
provide field trips to, they've gone to Lansing, they've attended, the county commissioner meetings, they've attended city council meetings, they've worked hand in hand with the mayor's office. So they are understanding how government works. And
Mhm.
hopefully, this would influence our young people to be able to be, a part of, voting and providing voting drives and things like that. So, yeah, that's definitely something that is at the forefront.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now, as we talk about voting, do we have a mechanism that allows people to register to vote anywhere in our Cody Roots group?
Yes, we do it twice a year where we work with our neighborhood associations and then also the block clubs in the community. And then there's like other organizations, not just Cody Rouge, but there's other organizations that we partner with that is like their core work. So we bring them in, and then they pretty much help assist with getting folks registered, especially when the young people are going off to college. We want to make sure
Mhm.
that they're registered to vote before they even leave to leave the state, and hopefully that we can continue to do that as well.
Yes, because I've got a young man who will be 18 in May. I can't
Yes,
even believe it.
yes.
One of his first things he's going to do when he turns 18 is get registered to vote.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
He was probably 2 or 3 years old, and we were voting for Barack Obama the very first time in 2012. No, 2008. 2008.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Time is flying.
Yes. And so we took Sonia and I, my daughter, took him with us to vote. We were going to take him to say, you're going to, you're a baby, but we're going to remind you that you had a chance to vote for the first African American president. So we took him with us into the poll to vote, and we were
Nice.
voting early. Took him into, and we let him hold a little pencil. And well, my goodness, he loved it so much we couldn't get him out of there. He just
Well,
leave.
that's a joy right there.
Didn't want to leave. I said, "Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, is my grandbaby acting like this?" He didn't want to leave. Then we tried
Yeah.
to put him in the car, and he fell out. I said, "Oh my goodness, I'm Grant. Who are you, little boy?" He didn't want to do that. So I remind him of that. That you acted a real little person. My Nana had to
Right.
almost be with you on that day. he didn't want to leave. He was having a ball in the voting machines and all around the people who were voting. So yeah, we need to start him early. But
Absolutely.
he had a day on that day. But it's so important, and it's so good that Cody Rouge is involved in getting our young people uh, to understand what it means to be involved and
Mhm.
why it important to them and how it impacts their lives and the children that they play with and go to school with and how it impacts their schools and
Right.
all of because they at some point in time we pray will be the leaders.
Right. Absolutely. Building
They
that pipeline of leadership is so important. Yes, I agree. Yes.
It is, it is, it is. Cody Rouge does a lot of other things. Talk about our Thanksgiving giveaway and Christmas giveaway.
Yeah, so those are like some of the fun times. We provide food baskets for families on the Monday before Thanksgiving, and that's really a fun day because we
Yeah.
have a DJ that comes out, and the cars are just lined up around the corner,
Hmm.
and sometimes we may add additional things like what do you call it? I'm sorry, Tide and toiletries. We may add
Yeah.
toiletries and things like that. So we've done that in the past, and we've also partnered with a lot of the fraternities. We've had the Omega Psi Phi and also the AKAs have supported us over the years and come out. Some of our local politicians have come out and be a part of, providing, the giveaways and also donating
Hmm.
to the family. So that's a fun time. And then during Christmas time, we adopt families. We tend to adopt about 10 to 15 families. We work with several other organizations that are always looking for families to adopt. So we will find those individuals and make sure that if there's a not if we don't have enough sponsors, then we would then just cover it ourselves to make sure that no kid is without Christmas.
Hmm.
Yep. So
And it's such an impactful time of year, and people appreciate it so very, very much because even though people talk about they're okay, sometimes they don't want to say what they need.
right, absolutely, yes,
And it's good that we're able to do that for them without them coming in and groveling. They just come on, come and get it. It's yours. It's
yes,
for the community, and they are so appreciative of those kinds of things in that community. The people in Cody Road are just just a good group of people.
thank you, thank
Good
you,
people. They are. They are. They are. Talk about your co-developer, I should say, Dr. Butler, who
yes.
one of
So
those seniors that helped out to help get things started.
absolutely. I was just sharing with a friend, how when we first got started, she and I, we were co-founders of the organization. She served as a president, and I was the executive director. And, as a young leader, and I was in my 30s then. So as a
Mhm.
young leader, there was things that I didn't know. What they say, you say, you don't know what you don't know,
Yes.
and it took me to, understand that, you need to listen to those who have come before you. They're there for a reason. They're wise. So we had some growing pains, and we laugh and joke about it now. So she now works for the organization.
Mhm.
She's one of the she's our community development manager. So she's been leading the work, and she's really good at making sure that we're meeting. We're doing evaluations. She's like, I kind of consider her as like a partner. She's able to
Mhm.
come up with things. Like I can call her right now and give her just an idea of something that I want to do, and she's going to send me back a report within a couple of minutes, of how she can see. So we really are a solid team. So it's great to have a board president who once served as a president, but now is a part of the team and still leading the work. Because a lot of times, as you grow, some folks they come and they go, but
Mhm.
having leaders who started together, still together, I think that's a major impact for our neighborhood.
Absolutely, very special. She has done such a wonderful job in
Yeah.
helping out with so many parts of the organization. I go back to we held some of the senior connect uh,
Yeah.
meetings in her at her church.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
she's just done a fantastic job in being able to assist all sorts of community people in making sure that they get the kinds of things they need to succeed. And we're just really, really happy about.
Yes.
There's something else special going on. Uh, we, Cody Rouge just bought buildings.
Yes. So
And why
last
did they
week,
buy buildings?
yes, it's when I say I'm just like overwhelmed with excitement. Last week we were able to close on our very first commercial, well, two. We actually purchased two buildings last week. That's going to serve as our headquarters. So our goal is to make sure that we, number one, continue to be present at our other locations, because it's important to have folks to be able to, they can just walk to a community center. But our headquarters is actually going to locate it on West Warren, and the goal is to have it as a tech hub, also co-working spaces for entrepreneurs, because I'm really big on entrepreneurship. Also. We're looking to have a full kitchen, a licensed kitchen.
Hmm.
So those who are looking to go into culinary arts, or they have businesses that focus on that, then that kitchen will be available for the community. We are also looking to have it as an intake center because, as you know, we providing wraparound service for many things. So that will be the place that folks can come in and sit down and meet one-on-one with a specialist to kind of walk through the type of services that we have, and then link those residents to those services. So I'm excited about it. It's been a long time coming for us to actually have our own space, and there's
Yeah,
nothing like having your own home in the
yeah,
neighborhood.
nothing like having your own. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But you have been an absolute genius in bringing grant dollars in. That's
Thank
just so
you.
impressive. If you do the kind of grant dollars, and that, but I'm not talking little bitty money. I'm talking millions of
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
dollars that have been brought into the Cody Rouge organization to help the betterment of that community. And so that community is just really thrilled and proud to have someone like Kenyatta as the executive director of the Cody Rouge Community Alliance. It's just important that they have people who at least know where to
Yes.
get the money. And then when you know where to get it, how to get it. Knowing
Yeah.
where is one thing, but getting it is a whole nother ball game.
And the
So
other thing is doing the right thing when you get it. That's more important
that's
than anything.
that's
Yes.
the other piece. Once you
Yes.
get it, do with it
Yes.
what you said you were going to do with it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Serve the community as you said you were going to do. That is just so important because people watch,
Yes.
and people are watching, and they watch so that you have been designated as one of the 5 best executive directors of of organizations in the area. So
Yes.
congratulations on that
Thank
honor.
you. I appreciate it. I'm honored for it. Thank you.
Yes, yes, and so well deserved, so well deserved. Now, something's coming up that I think is even greater, and that is what's happening with the draft.
Oh yeah. So we were selected as a charity organization by the NFL draft. One of the artists who actually was a graduate of Cody High School, yeah, it's Fele. He was the person who we utilized to do a mural on the side of one of the buildings inside of Stein Park. And that particular mural was highlighting, we call them living legends, and many people who have done great work for the past 16 years, and even some who've been here even before my leadership. So we were able to highlight those individuals. So this particular person, Fele, who's an artist, he was selected by City Walls to paint a mural on a cleat. So there's like about, I think, about 30 cleats. So there are local artists that were able to put this artwork on the murals. And his particular mural cleat was the one that was designated to be inside of the draft. So we're the charity that will reap the benefits for that. So we're excited about that.
Isn't that
Cody
wonderful?
Rouge. Thank you. Yes, so we're excited about that. So that's going to take place at the end of April.
Mhm.
Downtown Detroit, of course.
So now, if you want to see the mural, Cody Rouge right now is located in the St. Suzanne's Church or office buildings,
Yes.
and that is on West Chicago and Westwood,
Westwood. Yes.
and at the very rear of the building. Where the park is Stein Park, and you'll see a big parking lot, and then you'll see a wonderful park with all sorts of things for young people to do. Look at the wall on that rear of that, and that's where the mural is. You have to go by there and see it. It really is
Yes.
a wonderful, wonderful mural. So everybody, go by and look at the mural. Go by, just drive down West Chicago if you're past Southfield, go west on Chicago until you get to St. Suzanne's Church. You can't miss St. Suzanne's Church right there at Westwood. Make a left hand turn off of Chicago. Drive down, you see the park and the parking lot, and look on the back of the wall, and that's where the mural is. It is really a wonderful piece, and the fact that it's been selected, Cody Rouge's mural has been selected to be inside Ford Field for the draft is just phenomenal.
Yes.
It just says
Exciting.
a lot about the organization itself. It says a
Thank
lot
you.
about the organization. It does. It does. It does. Tell us more about Cody Rouge and some new things you want us to know about Cody Rouge.
Yeah, so we've done a lot of work partnering with the city of Detroit planning department. We are one of the strategic framework neighborhoods And what that means is that the city, the mayor of the city of Detroit identified at that particular time there were 11 neighborhoods, and we were one of the 11 neighborhoods that the city wanted to provide like master plans, economic area. So our particular area, we was the first neighborhood that had a youth-led neighborhood planning process. So our young people were a part of planning and deciding on what they wanted to see in the park, on the commercial corridors, in the blocks, and things like that. So through that came out of a couple of RFPs. So one of the RFPs was to provide a development project on Warren in Southfield. So we were selected as one of the agencies to partner with another developer, which is CHN Housing Partner. So we will be building our very first 53-unit apartment building for seniors 55 and older.
How about
So
that? How
that's going to be exciting. Yes.
we're just building an apartment build complex for seniors,
Yes.
and we had the opportunity at one of the community meetings to meet the builders and the developers and
Yes.
uh, see kind of an initial overlay of what it's going to look like. It's going to be a great piece, particularly for those seniors who can't stay in their homes anymore and who
Right.
need to be in that kind of environment. But it's going to be one of the best you've ever seen. This is going to be a great opportunity for people in that community to be able to live in a comfortable, spacious, safe environment for seniors. That'll be great.
Yes. And it's going to be affordable. So that's the other good thing. Yep.
And that's the other piece. Affordable, number
Yes.
one. Affordable is the number
Yes.
one thing.
'Cause
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes. They're going to be breaking ground sometime. Is it later this year?
So we don't know exactly sure when we're going to actually break ground. Now we hopefully by next year is the goal.
Okay.
If not next year, then it'll be the year after. There's what's called Light Tech credits that provide support for projects like this, and we just have to apply for those tax credits, and hopefully we're awarded, and it doesn't make things a little bit more feasible for us over the long run. So stay tuned to that to breaking ground of that.
Excellent, excellent. Who are some of the organizations that we've gotten donations from and grants from?
Yeah, so I'll start with the funders. So
Mhm.
we've been blessed to receive funding from the Skillman Foundation. They were actually the very first funder who invested in us as an organization. Now, I hope I don't forget about anyone, because you get to
That's
name
all
your names, you miss folks. But I'll kind of stick with the key ones I can think. Skillman Foundation, Kresge, Ralph Wilson Foundation, Quicken Loans, uh, Ford Fund, General Motors. I could not forget General Motors, and so those are like our key funders as far as foundations.
Mhm.
And then we've also been supported by a few developers. So North Point Development is like one of our key foundation. I'm sorry, private funders that support the organization. They were actually our lead sponsor for the fundraiser, and then
Mhm.
also for some other things that we're going to be rolling out this year as well.
And then we've gotten some state grants also, haven't we?
Absolutely. See, when I start naming names,
I
thank
know.
you. You got my back. So of course we were able to get blessed by the state of Michigan and also by the federal government. We received dollars from the state of Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. So part of that particular department is going to be supporting the new hub on West Warren. We also got a federal grant, um, and that was through partnership with support through Congresswoman Rashid Tlaib, who's going to be supporting that. And that particular project is awarded, but it's not funded yet. So I don't want to talk too much about that project
Mhm.
yet. But it's coming soon. So the stay tuned to that. And then for the state program, Senator Sylvia Santana has been supporting that. And of course, how could I miss Commissioner Alicia Bell, who has been at the forefront of helping us and supporting the neighborhood with wonderful programs over the years. She supported a lot of our drives over the years, so we definitely appreciate her leadership as well. So we've been blessed to have, leaders that's been supporting, and also funders who really believe in the work.
It's just a fantastic organization, just a fantastic organization. Now we've got a park, Rouge Park, that is doing some development where
Yes.
the Pistons are doing some development at Rouge Park where the swimming pool area is.
Yes.
How is
So
that?
we absolutely. So we are blessed to also receive a $20 million grant from the Detroit Pistons Foundation to actually build a brand new recreation center from the bottom up. So that is in partnership with the Friends of Rouge Park, which I was a former board member of Friends of Rouge Park. So they're actually going to be doing that. That's breaking ground this year. So we're excited about that. So we definitely thank the Pistons Foundation for supporting the neighborhood on that particular project as well.
There are so many organizations who see the value of supporting community organizations, but those community organizations that they know give back to the
Yes.
community and really have involvement with the community and are doing the right things. There have been so many events that Cody Rouge has sponsored that help not just children, but seniors, all the adults. There was an event last Saturday that had to do with exercise and
Yes.
talk about that. I tried to get there, but I was at another event and couldn't get quite make it in
Yeah.
time.
I'm glad you brought that one up because I don't remember if did I say Kresge or not when I was mentioning funders? Okay, I want to make sure. So Kresge Foundation has been supporting our health and wellness initiative. So for the past few years, we have been doing what's called the Cody Rouge Get Fit initiative, in which the goal is to make sure that we're trying to address hypertension, blood pressure, loneliness. Folks are being alone and depression, and then the physical aspect of it. So this past weekend, we were able to host our first one for this year. We had over 100 people in attendance. We hosted 10 vendors who were women-owned businesses, because as you know, last month was Women's History Month. So we made sure that we had vendors there, and the vendors were very supportive. They were able to receive the support from those who attended. And then we also had two speakers. One young lady, Dana Du, who's provided a nutritional 15-minute speak on nutrition. And then we also had Dorothea Kelly, who also provided information around, wellness, around financial health. So making sure that, folks are budgeting and thinking about, their budget and how to make sure that, you can looking at your credit score. Because as you know, if your credit is not good, sometimes that can prevent you from getting some things. So we want folks to be healthy all around. So that was like our key point for that. Last week, we also hosted a meeting with local health providers in the neighborhood, and then also our block clubs and association. So we will be rolling out a program this month for providing funding to support these organizations and block clubs and associations who are looking to also figure out ways to help address health in the neighborhood. So I'm excited about being able to, now we are a philanthropic organization where we're funding other
That
groups as well.
we
Yes,
have turned into ourselves.
yes, we are now funders too. So yes.
That is just absolutely great. And many of those community organizations really need and have come to Cody Rouge in many occasions to help them
Yes,
figure it out, to help them get it
yes,
right, to do the right things. And Cody Rouge has been there to do that for those community organizations. And so those communities are really very, very grateful and thankful to Cody
yes,
Rouge being able to help them do what they need to do in their community. One of those has to do with the steps that we were fixing for seniors' homes, the repairs that were going on. Didn't we do some repairs for senior homes also at one time?
yes. Yep. So we during senior university, that was part of that rollout as well. We were able to provide support for like building front porches and some minor repair inside of homes as well. Yep. So that's definitely something we've been able to do as well.
That's been, and it's made a difference. So for so
Thank
many
you.
seniors who would not have been able to do that had it not been for Cody Rouge. And even the grant that I think we're getting is, I'm not sure if that's a federal grant or the state grant to help seniors with repair their homes. And that grant is Cody Rouge, and I think it's extended to the aviation subdivision also.
Absolutely. Yep. So that was the federal grant that I was mentioning. Yep.
Mhm.
So that's actually that grant is going to support Cody Rouge and aviation, because aviation is adjacent to Cody Rouge, and it's actually so a part of District 7, which we are a part of District 7. So I can't wait to that actually rolls out. Sometimes with federal funding, it may not be into next year. So
It takes a
I
while.
want our residents. Yeah, we know that it's coming. We just want our residents to be patient, and as soon as we get the word to be able to roll it out, we're going to make sure that we roll it out and we're equitable about, making sure resources are stretched throughout the neighborhood.
Absolutely. So people who live in the Cody Rouge area and the aviation subdivision, start thinking about what your needs are, because once it rolls out, you aren't going to have a whole lot of time to try to figure it out. So start thinking about what
Right.
your needs are ahead of time. So when the grant does arrive, that you will already know what you need and you don't have to go try to figure out what your needs are. I
Right.
think if people take roofing and all sorts of other things that seniors need. I mean, they've lived in those homes for 50, 60 years in some cases, and many of
Right.
them are retired and don't have the funds necessary to maintain their homes. And so this grant is going to help you maintain that home, fix some stuff that needed.
Right. Right.
You just couldn't afford to get it
Absolutely.
fixed. And so start listing some of those things. So when the grant does finally come, you'll be ready to fill out the forms and get some of the dollars necessary to do that. Now, understand, this is your money anyway. These are taxpayer dollars.
Absolutely. That's right. That's correct. You're absolutely correct about that.
you,
Yes.
you paid taxes over all these 60, 70, 80 years. And this is just some of the money you're reaping for paying some of those taxes. But it's going to be there to help you repair your home so that you can live comfortably and peacefully in your home.
Yes.
Now, the aviation subdivision, as Kenyatta said, is right next to Cody Rouge. Aviation, if you got, is let's say it's Chicago, Joy Road, Tireman,
Yes.
going
I think it's Meyer or Schaefer.
to
Uh,
Schaefer,
yeah. Yep.
all of that. That's the aviation subdivision. And for those of you who don't know why they call it aviation subdivision, probably 100 years ago, I would say, maybe even more, Henry Ford owned all that land.
Yes.
And it's called aviation because there was going to be a airfield built, and it was going to be an aviation area for planes to fly in and out of the Ford factory that's located in Dearborn, which is adjacent to the aviation subdivision. So that's why it's called aviation subdivision, because they were making a airline field out of that place for planes to fly in and out of. But lots of history behind that. But it's a wonderful, wonderful area. Probably one of those hidden gems that people don't even know exist. So if you know where Oakland Boulevard is, in Oakland and Chicago and Tireman, that's the aviation subdivision. Great, 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 great area. Now, the
I
last
never
thing
knew that. Thanks for that history. I never knew that. Thank you.
I want you to talk about is you. Now, besides Kenyatta being the executive director of the Cody Rouge Community Alliance, she is an entrepreneur on her own.
Yes.
She is an entrepreneur on her own. She has established this wonderful smoothie, and she has a smoothie truck.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Great. So if any of you are having events that you want some healthy stuff at your events,
Yes. Healthy.
barbecue and the hot dogs and potato chips and all that other stuff, have Kenyatta come out with her smoothie truck. She made some best smoothies that you'll ever want to take.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Talk about how you got involved in being an entrepreneur and having your own smoothie truck, your own business.
Okay, yeah. So I am definitely an entrepreneur by night and day. So I initially, before I started the Cody Rouge Community Action Alliance, I was actually teaching. I had another nonprofit, and I was teaching young people how to start their business. It was just always something that I used to sell candy as a young girl, sell French fries, eat cheese fries, all sorts of things growing up. So it was always in me to do that. But how I landed on the healthy side of entrepreneurship. I was severely overweight at one point, and I was experiencing some life challenges, and I knew that it was important that I change the way that I eat and the way that I live. So I started eating healthy, and I started initially with smoothies, making smoothies. I don't know if you're familiar with JJ Smith, but there's a woman named JJ Smith out of Chicago who has this book, and I started reading this book, and I just got addicted to it. So with that, I was able to lose about 25 pounds initially doing that. So then I started prepping smoothies for my close family and friends. So I was doing that, and then it just kind of expanded. One of my friends said, "Why don't you start a business?" I said, "I don't have time to start a business." She said, "Yes, you do. You can do it on the weekend." I said, "Okay, I'll give it a try." So I started, prepping on the weekend, and then it just turned into this big thing. I was doing pop-ups at different dance studios and places like that in the city. And then I decided I wanted to put it on wheels. So that's when I bought this big old yellow polka dot bus, which is called the Detroit Smoothie Spot. And that's pretty much how things got going. It was really me looking at myself and my health. In order to be able to lead Cody Rouge, I had to be healthy. So I knew I had to make a change. And that's kind of how I started my for-profit business, because I've always been like on the nonprofit side. So this is like the first for-profit venture for me, and it's definitely something that my young people, my children, is something that they help me with during the summertime. So it's like their way to make extra money. All the kids in my family, I kind of utilize them to come on and help during the summer, so that they're learning as well. Yep. So that's the Detroit Smoothie Spot, and then for that, it led to me starting a fitness group called Fit to Win Detroit, in which I've been able to help over 100 women to also be healthy, exercise, lose weight, and
Yeah. And
yes,
I tell you, both my daughters have been involved.
yes, they're my clients of mine.
And it works. They have these wonderful challenges. Uh,
Yes,
and at the end, whoever loses the most weight wins a lot of money.
yeah,
So
$1,000. A couple of folks won $1,000 a couple of times. Yes,
yes, they have done a wonderful job, but she has really been the impetus for a lot of folks getting healthy by
thank you.
exercising and eating right, and using the fruit and those smoothies. And she provides all of that. They could go and pick it up so they can get their smoothies for the week, so they can get their diets right. And so it's
Yes,
just a great blessing for a lot of young ladies who probably need to drop a pound or two, but also need to exercise. And
yes,
so that's a part of the whole piece, is the exercise that Kenyatta has been a part of. So she's
yes,
been a blessing, not only at Cody Rouge, but on the other side of in the entrepreneurial space,
yes.
helping young ladies eat right, be healthy, and exercise. So that is a wonderful piece. So if anybody's interested in that, you need to contact Kenyatta, because she does a
Please do. Yes.
great job of it.
I have Instagram and Facebook page for my business. It's the Detroit Smoothie Spot. So you can check that out there. And then as far as Cody Rouge, it's codyrouge.org. And then also we're on all social media platforms. And then again, as you mentioned, we are located currently inside of St. Suzanne, 19321 West Chicago, and then also inside of Detroit Impact, which is at 9930 Greenfield. And then our new location, 1680709 West Warren. So
Wow.
um,
Our new
yeah.
location, our headquarters, it's
Yes,
coming.
ma'am. Yes.
It's a wonderful thing. Kenyatta, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And I just look forward to continuing to be a part of change that's happening in the city of Detroit. I love my city, and I definitely love Cody Rouge.
Absolutely. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We'll see you next time, because we're going to have you back as these things progress. You're going to have to come back and report to us how things are going,
I would
and
love
what
to.
the next steps are. That's going to be absolutely wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. All
Take
righty.
Be safe
Have a
out
blessed
there.
day.
You
Thank
too.
you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to the Community Bell Show. You just heard from a wonderful young lady who is doing marvelous things in the west side of Detroit. Cody Rouge Community Alliance is doing just a wonderful job in supporting the people in that community. So if you want to help out, you can always help out. codyrouge.org. It's a wonderful place to be. Thank you for joining us this Monday at 4 o'clock on the Community Bell Show. We're so glad to have you. It's always good to be with you, to celebrate, to celebrate, to celebrate women, and to celebrate what's going on in our community. We want you to know how important you are to WVTC Radio, because you make us. And so we want you to continue to listen, to continue to watch, to pass the word. You can do it now. I'm not the best at it, but I know a lot of you know how to use this little device right here. You can do that. Spread the word. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next Monday, 4 o'clock. Community Bells Show. Have a great week.
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner, Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit.
The views and opinions expressed on the previous broadcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WVTC Radio Detroit, its advertisers, or affiliates.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.